Welcome back. Give yourself a clap. You made the right decision by taking time to listen. This is why I said, let me not be a politician. Let me write lyrics. How many politicians get your undivided attention for 25 minutes? Besides, if you start listening to me at 8 years old, and in 10 years' time, you're old enough to vote, it's 10 years of listening to the poems that I wrote. In 10 years, I could reap the seeds that I've sown. Politics, man, I can't just leave that alone. I can see the pattern. I can see what needs to happen. We need to move away from employment that doesn't solve our problems and makes us avoid them. Put it like this. If what you do for your salary puts a strain on your sanity or even just your fun and enjoyment, then in an ideal world, you should be able to find other employment. I'm not talking about fantasy jobs where you just walk in and out. I'm talking new opportunities with no limitation. Innovation. Listen, no one can measure the hidden innovation living in a nation. Hidden because of timing and environment and just situations where people ain't given information. Every generation invents something. And every invention meant nothing until it meant something. You think Alexander Graham Bell could have ever known all the jobs he generated when he made the telephone? Let me give a more recent example. 20 years ago, Black Britain invented garage. Wiley came along and he made it grime. His invention became my favorite genre, but when I got to Cambridge, I created mine. My first innovation was poetry with a rap style, which you recognize if you know of me from my background. My second innovation was musical poetry, getting musicians and producers to flow with me. But I'm an artist. I'm a free spirit. I couldn't fit these lyrics into 3 minutes. Now picture me praying on that problem and God answering. That's how I came to this podcasting thing. Does it bother me when people copy me? Not really. Take it. You don't need to ask. Every decent innovation needs to imitation. We're not the first, and we won't be the last. The best demonstration is the next generation. I bet you any money they're gonna come up with something new that leads to economic acceleration. I've seen different Black communities do this, and the vehicle among the young is usually music. Black people have made popular new sounds from the 1800s up to the 2000s, and there's no sign of us losing this ability. Music continues to improve our visibility. Every Black country has been abused in recent history, but music has supported us through this instability. The richest artists in the world are Black. One of them started off making sales of crack. That says it all. Music has been a lifeline in a system that's often held us back. You know who I mean, right? The only act with more #1 albums than Jay-Z is the Beatles. And the whole foundation of their incredible sales is Black music. They've said it themselves.
Black music was my life and still is, John said. This whole change of style was started by rock and roll is black.
Listen, I'm not as concerned with credit and sales as I am with helping us develop ourselves. So given what we've given, for the time it's been working, when people take our Blackness and define it as urban, just so they can sell it without us taking credit, I find it disturbing. And maybe I wouldn't feel it as much if we didn't need it as much. Music is our golden ticket. And we're missing out on a lot if we don't admit it. We need change. And if our position in the economy won't permit it, we need to use opportunities inequality won't inhibit. So I'm saying, we can pull a lot of Black people out of perpetual poverty by thinking about Black music as our intellectual property. And on that cheerful note, welcome to chapter 3 of my podcast. You ready? Let's go. Subscribe and listen to Have You Heard George's podcast on BBC Sounds now.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.